ค่อยชั่วหน่อยแต่เสียงก็ยังแหบๆอยู่เลยนะเนี่ย วันนี้ไม่ค่อยสบายแย่จังแต่ก็ดีขึ้นกว่าเมื่อเช้าเยอะคือรู้สึกโคตรสวยมากเลยเมื่อคืนไข้ขึ้นก็กินยาไปแล้วก็เมื่อเช้าก็ยังเป็นไข้อยู่แล้วก็เอา ATK มาตรวจจะรู้ว่าติดโควิดอีกโอ้สวยจริงกักตัวอยู่ที่บ้านสักอาทิตย์หนึ่งเลยแต่เมื่อเช้านี่คือแย่มากทั้งไข้37มั้งแล้วก็ไข้37แล้วก็อะไรวะนึกพูดไม่ออกเจ็บคอด้วยแล้วเสียงแทบจะแหบมากอะตอนนี้ก็ดีขึ้นมาหน่อยแต่จะต้องพิมพ์แชทบ่อยขึ้นรอบเนี้ยเดี๋ยวพูดเยอะก็เจ็บคอกว่าเดิมอีกวันนี้ก็เหมือนเดิมเลยเคลียร์คุยต่อเรายังหาสาเหตุได้ว่าไม่ได้เลยว่าแบบมันเกิดจากอะไรวะสงสัยเพราะว่าตอนที่ก่อนที่เราจะดูไลฟ์แพท 3.2 เนี่ยเราแบบไปซื้อข้าวมากินใช่ไหมที่ว่ามันจะมีช่วงนึงเรา AFK อยู่ในตู้ปลา แล้วแบบแล้วทีนี้เราน่าจะกินข้าวต้มตอนมันร้อนเกินไปอ่ะมันเลยลวกลิ้นลวกคอเจ็บคอมากแล้วก็ทีนี้แบบภูมิต้านทานเราก็น่าจะลดอ่ะกลายว่าไข้ขึ้นเลยแล้วอาการมันเพิ่งจะมาเป็นหลังเลิกงานสักเที่ยงคืนกว่ามั้งตอนแรกยังไม่รู้สึกว่าแบบตัวร้อนขึ้นหรืออะไรก็ตามนะยังแค่เจ็บคอเฉยๆเอาพอมาเมื่อเช้าก็ เป็นละไข้ขึ้นกว่าเดิมแต่เราก็ไม่แน่ใจว่าคิดว่าแบบเป็นหวัดหรือไม่สบายอะไรปกติเฉยไงก็เลยแบบไม่ไว้ใจเอา ATK มาตรวจซะสรุปว่าแม่งโควิดผลเป็นบวกเอาชีพหายละหยุดงานเลยเมื่อตอนกลางวันกินยาไป4 เม็ดแล้วก็ตอนเย็นก็กินไปอีก4 เม็ดแต่ก็ดีขึ้นเยอะ แต่ก็เสียงแหบแล้วก็เสลดในคอเยอะอยู่แต่ไข้ลดลงละเอายังชั่วนะเมื่อเช้านี่คือไข้ขึ้นอย่างหนักแบบอาบน้ำหรือมันก็นอนเนี่ยตัวสั่นหมดเลยรู้สึกแย่เลยเดี๋ยวพิมพ์ไว้ในแชทก่อนเผื่อใครเข้ามาถามอะไรแบบเพิ่งเข้ามาดูเงี้ยเราจะบอกว่าวันนี้เราเป็นโควิดนะเราก็เสียงไม่ค่อยมีด้วยครับผมใช่อาการเพิ่งมาเป็นเมื่อเช้าแล้วก็เมื่อเช้าไข้ขึ้น37เลยแต่ตอนนี้เสียงก็แบบยังแผ่ๆอยู่แล้วแต่อาการดีขึ้นกว่าเดิมเยอะกินยาไป4 เม็ดได้
Divine, manifest
into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call.
hold the line
The wind knows me.
unleash Sugra swirl billowing surge
ก็วันนี้ผมมาจะเอาแค่เควสหลักให้จบแล้วกันนะ ดองมานานแล้ว คือเป้าหมายตอนเนี้ยไอ้เควสตัวละครค่อยว่ากัน แต่ว่าเควสเนื้อเรื่องต้องเอาให้จบก่อนแพท 3.2 ให้ได้
Witness the power of football. Teamwork is dreamwork.
เดี๋ยวก่อนไปทำเควสขอลงอาบิฟรอบหนึ่งก่อน
Get them. Torn to oblivion.
Your journey ends.
There is no escape. Rain cutter. No, my sword. I'm going in. Spread your wings and raise a storm. Now you shall perish. Where do you think?
Goodbye. But we'll meet again.
ก็ยังใช่ทีมเดิมอยู่ดีอะเวลาเลยเยอะแต่พอเสียงเราเป็นงี้ มันก็ตลกไปอีกแบบหนึ่งนะ
Time to go.
Cryo incarnate.
One with nature. Fallen leaves adorn my.
Take flight. Embrace the ice.
Into the wind.
Whirling snow. Obey. My apologies. We have to end.
เชี่ยเกือบตาย
Allow me. Whirling snow. Unleash. My apologies. Obey. Hold the line. Take flight. Whirling snow. Rest and rebuild.
เชิญเธอกดอีครั้งชาร์จตี 70,000 กว่า
Let's light it up. Shine down. Witness the power of football. Teamwork is dreamwork. You're toast.
เชี่ยให้สลับตัวไม่
Nice
ติด
and spicy. Torn to oblivion. Rim cutter. No, my sword. I'm going in. Eat this. Now you shall perish.
เรียบร้อย สปีดรัน 12-3
Do your master's bidding.
Clouds hide. The birds call.
Take flight. Sakura swirl.
One with nature.
เชี่ยเอาแพ็กมอนไม่ดีอะ
Into the wind.
By ordinance divine, manifest.
Hold the line.
Whirling snow.
แต่อากาศมันชาร์จตีแรงจริงตอนมีบัฟเชิญเหอเนี่ย
Witness the power of the rock. Everybody stand back. Let's
At the frying pan, the fire.
Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape. Rain cutter. I'm going in.
Boba, get them. You're toast.
Torn to oblivion.
เรียบร้อย โอเค ไปต่อเควสละเฮ้ยเดี๋ยวแล้วว่าเลสิ้นเราน่าจะ20แล้วมั้งไปลงอาร์ติแฟกต์รอบนึงก่อนเนี่ยลงอาร์ติแฟกต์รอบนึงแล้วต่อด้วยเควสพอจบเควสหลักเราค่อยนอนละ เห็นเลซินมันมี20แล้วก็แบบ ไปลงแฟกต์ก่อนอะไรโซนิกอะไรอีเหรอฮะสปอนมาแน่เลยWhat?ฉันเริ่มงงแล้วนะ
Well. Embrace the ice.
So rude. Missile pack a punch.
My apologies.
ถ้วยโจมตีไรเด่นเหรอถ้วยตรงเซตมันก็หายากคูณ2อยู่แล้วนะ ออฟอะไรวะ ไฟฟ้า แต่ออฟเน่ามากเลย เก็บไว้เป็นออฟเซตให้ตัวไหนสักตัวก็ได้มั้งไรเด่นผมก็จะใส่ถ้วยไฟฟ้าเลย ใส่หอกเจ็ดนาฬิกาฟื้นฟูถ้วยโจมตีมีนะ แต่ว่าออฟเน่ามาก อยู่ที่เชนเนอร์มันขี้เลดแต่ว่าที่เหลือ เน่ามาก ป้องกันเน้นๆก็เลยใส่ถ้วยไฟฟ้าก็ได้วะถ้วย5 ออฟเซตอะตอนนี้ มันทรมานมากนะ ถ้าเราอยากได้ถ้วยตรงเซตเพราะว่าเรามีออฟเซตชิ้นอื่นที่มันโหดมากอันนี้ไม่ลงคีย์ดาเมจสักรอบเลย อันนี้ก็ลงแบบบาลานซ์โคตร เสียดายมันลงแฟดทีไปรอบหนึ่งอะถ้ามันลงครีเลตหรืออะไรก็ตามในเนี้ยนะแม่งโอเคเลยอะ ATK ก็พอๆกับผมเลยเนี่ยครีเลต69ครีเลต70อันนี้ผมใส่ถ้วยไฟฟ้าแต่พลังโจมตีเยอะอาจจะเพราะอาร์ติแฟกต์มันลงพลังโจมตีเยอะมั้งอันนี้ก็19แล้วอันนี้9อันนี้14อันนี้5ถือฟาโบจังใจว่าไปเปิดแอนกอล์ฟไหมถ้าใจรักก็เปิดเลยเกนกอล์ฟ แต่ผมนี่ถ้าสมมติผมเล่นไรเดนฟาโวนะครีเลตยับเลย เหลือ48เองเหลือ48เองถ้าจะเอาครีเลตสัก60สงสัยต้องแบบต้องขนนกมีครีเลตติดแล้วก็นาฬิกาจะต้องหานาฬิกาตรงเซตที่มีครีเลตติดเยอะกว่านี้แล้วก็ถ้วยก็ต้องหาที่มันมีครีเลตแต่มันหายากไงอันนี้ยิ่งเป็นถ้วยตรงเซตอีกถ้วยตรงเซตมูลค่า7ก็เลยไม่ต้องทำอะไรละใส่เจดไปเลยทำครีเลตง่ายดิคือผมชอบไรเดนที่มีครีเลตประมาณ70ไงถ้าครีเลตต่ำกว่า70ผมรู้สึกมันขัดใจมันปาดไม่ค่อยคลีอะถ้าอวยสี2เป็นยังต่ำแล้วก็เอ็นกาฟิงโลด
Are you going to hold a festival?
ผมก็อยากได้ชัยอยู่นะ
Who's our target this time?
ผมก็รอเปิดชัยอยู่ เพราะว่าผมมีอาร์ติแฟกต์เหลือแล้วไม่รู้จะให้ใครใส่ละเนี่ยผมมีอาร์ติแฟกต์ที่ปั้นไว้รอชัยอยู่ เหมือนว่าผมเปิดเอาให้ดูครั้งหนึ่งแล้ว แต่ผมรู้สึกว่าผมทำเออาร์ล้นไปหน่อยทำเออาร์ล้นไปหน่อย แต่ว่าแบบมัน70 140มัน1:2เรโทมันสวยดีเออาร์ล้นช่างมันชายมันโตเป็นโบนัสน้ำด้วยมั้งคือตอนนี้ผมรอหลักๆนะรอเปิดนาฮิดะมีอาร์ติแฟกต์พร้อมแล้ว แต่ผมใส่เป็นชำนาญธาตุ2ชิ้นแล้วก็ครีเลตอันนี้ใส่วิซิตอยู่ แต่ก็ผมคิดว่าหลังจากที่ผมเปิดได้นาฮิดะแล้วเนี่ยก็จะมาเปิดอาวุธอยู่ เพราะว่าเห็นว่านาฮิดะมันจะมาพร้อมกับโยอิมิยะในครึ่งแรก แล้วมันเป็นอาวุธประจำตัวของทั้ง2ตัว ไม่ว่าจะเปิดได้อันไหนก็คุ้มอะสำหรับผมนะ เพราะว่าผมดองไว้29ถ้าสมมติผมแลกมาวันละโลแล้วก็บวกกับอีเวนต์ บวกกับอบิสมันรีหรืออะไรก็ตามเนี่ยผมดองได้สัก40 โลมั้งอันนี้ก็53บวกมีการันตีแล้วเนี่ยก็พอเปิดอยู่แล้วก็ที่เหลือเปิดอาวุธก็เปิดไป40แล้วสวัสดีครับผมอาการดีขึ้นมาหน่อยแล้วตอนแรกไข้เยอะกว่านี้ตอนนี้ก็ไข้ลดลงแล้วก็อาจจะมีเจ็บคอบ้างแต่ก็น้อยกว่าเมื่อเช้าเยอะเมื่อเช้านี่เป็นหนักเลยเนี่ยหลุดไพโมเดลเจตอนตู้หอกไซโน ฉะนั้นคือมันก็ถือว่าเรามีการันตีแล้วไงไม่ว่าจะเปิดได้อาวุธประจำตัวนาฮิดะหรืออาวุธประจำตัวโยอิมันก็มีคนใช้แน่นอนสมมตินะอันนี้ผม53บวกมีการันตีเปิดสัก30 โลน่าจะออกแล้วก็ที่เหลือไปเปิดอาวุธปกติมันพิตตี้อยู่ที่ช่วงประมาณ60ตอนนี้41ละก็เปิดสัก20 กว่าโลน่าจะออกแล้วมั้งถือว่าเป็นตู้ที่วินแน่นอนเอาละเราเสียเวลาตรงนี้มาเยอะแล้วเลซิ่งเราก็ผ่านไปเรียบร้อยฉะนั้นเดี๋ยวบวก12อันนี้ก่อนเนี่ยโอ้แม่งลงแฟดไอทีเคอันนี้คือแบบอาร์ติแฟกต์มันล้นแล้วแต่ว่าตีเล่นไงเผื่อว่ามันจะลงแต่คริเรตกับ EM รัวๆประมาณว่าเอาคริเรตเยอะ EM เยอะแล้วก็ไปหาคริดาเมจจากชิ้นอื่นอะไรทำนองนั้นรู้สึกว่าเวลาเอาตัว FK มันเอาตัวมา FK หน้าดันอาร์ติแฟกต์ไม้เนี่ยมันชอบมาเจอไอ้เควสนี้ตลอดเลย
Order guide you.
แล้ว NPC ตัวนี้ก็พูดยาวด้วย บัดดี้ FK เป็นชั่วโมงแม่งโผล่มา2-3 รอบอ่ะแย่ไอตัวละครที่ความประทับใจยังไม่เต็ม10นี่ผมน่าจะเหลือแค่เอลอยกับโดลี่แหละเอลอยไม่ได้ใช้เลยจริงๆแค่เอามาแบบเราจะนำบัตรทุกตัว เดี๋ยวนะเควสหลักเราถึงตรงนี้ละบทที่3ฉากที่4แล้วก็ต่อเลยเควสโลกเดี๋ยวค่อยมาทีหลังอันนี้เราจะเล่นเควสออโต้แล้วก็พิมพ์แชทไว้นะ ผมไม่แน่ใจว่าเควสหลักตอนนี้มันถือว่าใกล้จบเลยหรือยังนะคงไม่ยาวเท่าไหร่มั้งแต่ไอเควสโลกอนันตญาณอะยาวจริง
Need to watch out for this
Hey, dear.
Right on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well.
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person.
Wait,
Even though
look,
she's an
Khaleesi.
extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone. Come on, let's go inside.
ยาว ยาวแน่แต่น้อยกว่าเล็กน้อย แต่เควสโลกผมสกิปรัวๆอยู่แล้วแหละแบบไม่ค่อยอ่านบทสนทนาเท่าไหร่ แต่เควสเนื้อเรื่องเนี่ยผมแบบ ผมชอบอ่านเนี่ย แต่คงเอาเควสตัวละครก่อนแหละจริง
Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away? Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry.
Yes, ma'am. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
แคนเดสน่าจะโหดมากเลย อย่าตีพวกเราอีกเลย พวกเราจะตายแล้วนะ
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
ดูแล้วไซโนสอนมาดีมาก แคนเดสจบการศึกษาแล้ว ครูดีสร้างสิทธิ์เอกนั่นเนี่ย
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal.
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know, please. Just,
I'm listening.
you might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection.
They're called village keepers. Slip up again and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
ถ้าเกิน3 ครั้งฉันจะปิดชีพนาย
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything.
2 ครั้ง
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. It's just...
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
โดนทรมานมาสิได้พูดนี่
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
ตบเรียบเลยลงไปกองเลย
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia.
มาจากสถาบันอีก
Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the... They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
โอเค ได้ใบ XP มา3 เล่ม ตังค์ 45,000
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yeah?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All Hatham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really?
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, the reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace,
มีคน
any
จับมอง
external
ตามองเราอยู่
factors
นะวะเนี่ย
introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
กลัวไซโน่เลย
You were asking about the mad scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
เจ้าตัวรู้ดีว่าหมู่บ้านมีผู้สนับสนุนที่ภักดีต่อสกาเลตคิงประมาณว่าเป็นซาลิมสกาเลตคิงอะไรประมาณนี้เปล่าวะ
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm...
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this,
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it.
ไปคุยกับนางอีกแล้วมั้งเนี่ย ไปไหนวะเนี่ยอ๋อเข้าประตู
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier,
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but...
Huh? What do you mean?
go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why is that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation.
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar. but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go.
ไปโรงพยาบาลเก่าแล้วเนี่ยไกลจังเลยขนาดว่าไข่ลงแล้วเนี่ยแต่ก็ยังแบบหนาวสั่นอยู่นิดหน่อยก็หวังว่าเควสมันยังอีกไม่นานนะไม่รู้ว่าสักชั่วโมงหนึ่งจะจบเปล่านะ
Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible. Monsters, watch out!
Let's light it up! Teamwork is busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Solidify!
Everybody stand back! Huh? Quietly now. Here comes the cat.
Fuse is lit! They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one.
เอาให้ท่านเป็นธาตุไม้นี่นะเราต้องทำเควสถึงตรงนี้ถึงจะปลดไอ้ตรงนี้ได้
Let's go in and take a look.
Hey, we haven't found squat.
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
นั่งอ่านหนังสือชิวๆอะ
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position.
So, you got...
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
อ่านไม่
How
รู้
is
เรื่อง
he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated.
อ๋อยินดีๆก็กลางคืนซะงั้น
Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is.
เนี่ยมี
It's
เสียง
coming from that direction.
มีเสียงแบบนี้ตอนกลางคืนด้วยวะ
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here.
โอ้ลงไปข้างล่างอะต้องให้พี่แกเป็นคนเปิด
As I thought. There...
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
นี่เรายังสำรวจไม่หมดเลย อันนี้มันต้องใส่ตัวละครธาตุไม้แน่นอน ใส่ทีมสำรวจ
Trainee
โลก
Forest Ranger Kale, reporting.
ก็ประมาณนี้นะมั้งมันมี3 เสา
Goes the ship down! Rest and rebuild!
The wind knows me.
Time for a light show!
One with nature.
Allow me!
ไม่นิ่งนะว่าจะมีทางลับอยู่ในโรงพยาบาลแบบนี้
Look! There's someone over there! Good idea. Let's approach him slowly with that.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the
รุ่น
Academia.
พี่ที่สถาบันเด็ก
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if... The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
สะดุ้งเลย
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The Academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King, and look, the notion of an Academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the Academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night when.
So, the human brain. Nope, nah.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. Or perhaps, his curiosity got the better of him, and he.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
เกี่ยวข้องกับฟาทูวีเดอะด็อกเตอร์และเดอะบอลลาเดียเขาจะใช้สิ่งนี้ทำให้บอลลาเดียกลายเป็นเทพเจ้า
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. However, I can't help but wonder. The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to know.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. This matter needs to be corrected.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well.
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia, but
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
wow, that's a great way to think about it. Hyman's really impressed.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us.
พา
We'll
ไป
work
ด้วย
out
ดีก
our
ว่า
next step after we return to Aru Village.
พาไปด้วยดีกว่ากุญแจเก่าแก่แถวนี้ต้องมีอะไรเหรอวะเมื่อกี้เราก็ผ่านตรงนี้มาแล้วเนาะ เออนี่ไงชื่อผู้ป่วยอาบัสเพศชายเกษตรกรเอกสารผู้ป่วยให้ชัดเลย เสียงของเทพนำทางฉัน ปรากฏการเสียงสะท้อนของภูมิประเทศภายในเนินทราย ทะเลทรายนะ เอาเควสหลักก่อนดีกว่าแบบนี้ เดี๋ยวแถวนี้ต้องมีอะไรสำรวจเปล่าวะไม่น่ามีมั้ง
Like a lamb to the slaughter.
Rest and rebuild.
Into the wind.
The fuse is lit.
I'll be back.
ช่างมันเถอะไปต่อเควสหลักให้จบก่อนดีกว่าอ่าไม่รู้อีกนานไหมนะ ชั่วโมงหนึ่งมันจะจบไหมวะเนี่ย เราไม่น่าดองเลยสิ
We're back.
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail.
Yeah.
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The Academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation.
อาคาชาเป็นเทคโนโลยีที่ทันสมัยมาก
The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that his tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! But if the Academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please,
wait!
Now, son,
I want to go too!
You want to go too?
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Ôi, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah,
Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you.
สงสัยต้องไปปิดแอร์แล้วหนาว
Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though. Oh.
เฮ้ยผ้าไม่ดีบ้าจริงเฮ้ยแต่ก็น่าจะลดลงแล้ว ตอนแรก3.7 ตอนนี้เหลือ36.3
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
เฮ้ยน่าจะถึงพาร์ทที่เราไปทะเลทรายแล้วมั้งเนี่ยแต่คิดว่าคงไม่น่าจะยาวนะ
So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
ไปทะเลทรายแล้ว
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
โทษทีเหมือนแต่ไปเก็บผีเสื้อแล้ว
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there, it looks like...
สรุปว่ามีเส้นทางไปใต้ดิน
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry. Your grandpa's gonna be
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
สืบหาข้อมูลเก่งจังพวกนี้
But running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring
เออ
too?
ไพมอนบินได้ด้วย
Of course it is.
โอ้นกหมุนติ้วไปมาอย่างนั้น อะไรวะเนี่ย
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
เอาละ
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
อ้าวสติแตกแล้ว
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
well, look who's here.
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You...
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry
สลิ
this
มสกา
conviction.
เลตคิงที่แท้ถูกเปล่าวะ
It's not too late yet. The village keep... Mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the Academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of...
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why, what filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the Academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the academia's way of doing things?
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Rama, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you...
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia, you need to steel yourself.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You...
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
ตัดแขนขวาเลยเหรอ
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
อาฝาค้างเลยเว้ยทำไปเลย
Stop!
นึกว่าจะต้องเสียแขนแล้วมั้งเนี่ย
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave.
หรือว่าจะต้องมีเสียแขนกันละ
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm.
เปลี่ยนมาใช้มือซ้ายถือนะครับ
Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up.
แล้วก็กลับไปแมปเดิม หมู่บ้านอารุ บทที่ 3 ฉากที่ 4ได้กลุ่มดาวนักเดินทางด้วยวะ ใกล้จบยังวะเดี๋ยวนะ6 โมงถึง 8 โมงเรายืนรอเฉยเป็นวันเลยเนี่ยไพมอนมีพลังเรื่องเวลาจริงๆ เฮ้ย หนาวสั่นอีกแล้ว ต้องทำเควสนี้ให้จบให้ได้ไม่รู้นี่ว่าจะจบจริงหรือเปล่า
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia,
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood?
Fine.
แคนเดสเป็นห่วงด้วยโอ้ไปนู่นเลยอะโคตรไกลเลยโทษนะฉันไม่อยากจะสู้กับมอนพวกนี้เท่าไหร่โอ้ตรงนี้มีตังค์แล้วแถวนี้มันจะมีอะไรให้แก้เปล่าวะอ้าวเดินไปเจอเควสอีก
Huh. They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only one of them?
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise on my...
You stay right there!
Boy-mate! What do you think you're doing?
Don't you see this blade here? You coward! Why are your hands shaking? Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Grandpa!
ลงไปใต้ดินอย่างนี้เลยเหรอ เฮ้ย ปู่แม่งเทพว่ะวับมาหาเลยวะ
Paimon's dizzy.
น่าจะใกล้จบแล้วมั้ง ดูจากของรางวัลเควสเนี่ย น่าจะพลังของนายดาในมั้งเนี่ย
This day's going just great.
What a nuisance.
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body. The dendro archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Oh no.
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to the Scarlet King's civilization. This structure must be ancient. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise the Scarlet King!
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got off lightly.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his sacred palace.
He's not actually gonna go in there, is he?
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of the Scarlet King's civilization appear. 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in gods.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being, or creature. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. The Scarlet King will take care of his people. Right now, I'm going inside.
ปล่อยลูกน้องตัวเองนอนอย่างนั้นเลยแย่จัง เป็นผู้นำภาษาอะไรวะ เราต้องทำเควสนี้ถึงจะลงมาตรงนี้ได้นะ อ๋อ เป็นโดเมนด้วย
Stay close and you will live. A pleasure to be working with you.
เราจัดท่าที่มันแนะนำจริงๆแล้วนะ เฮ้ย หนาวเฮ้ยอาการยังไม่หายดีอะไรเลยเนี่ยเควสจะจบไหมนะ
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Raman.
Huh?
Do you see another Raman here?
Are you mocking me? What do you mean?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from the Scarlet King's civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Archon.
เป็นอารยธรรมของสกัดเลตทิงแต่พลังที่ไหลเวียนภายในกลับเป็นของเทพไม้
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this whole area to find an explanation.
ต้องหมุนไปอย่างนี้จนกว่าจะแสงขึ้นมั่วเสียก็ได้มั้งมีเทคโนโลยีล้ำยุคอะไรแบบนี้ด้วยวะแถวนี้ต้องมีอะไรบ้างวะแบบหีบสมบัติหรืออะไรก็ตามอ่ะไม่น่ามีมั้งไล่เช็คทุกมุมแล้วเนี่ยลิฟต์แน่นอนแบบนี้มันเป็นโดเมนแบบนี้นี่ลืมไปว่าเราไม่ได้เอาคาสึฮามาลืมไปไม่ได้เอาคาสึฮามาเราจัดตัวตามท่าที่มันบอกให้แนะนำอะแถวนี้ก็ไม่น่ามีอะไรมั้งจะจบมานะ น่าจะพาร์ทสุดท้ายของเควสนี้แล้วมั้งน่าจะพาร์ทสุดท้ายของเควสนี้แหละแล้วก็แบบมันก็จะไปต่ออีกที 3.2 มั้งให้เดานะเดินเอามั่วๆเดี๋ยวได้เหรอ
Illusion shattered. Hold the line. Covenant of the deep. Now you shall perish. There is no escape. Allow me.
แถวนี้ต้องมีอะไรบ้างวะมันให้เราไปไหนต่อวะเนี่ย เ เหมือนมันมีปริศนาอะไรอยู่แถวนี้ มีอะไรแถวนี้นะทางไปต่อน่าจะอยู่นี่ มันพาเราไปไหนวะเนี่ย หรือว่ามันต้องมีปริศนาอะไรอยู่แถวนี้แน่เลย เดี๋ยวนะนึกออกละต้องรีบกระโดดไปเหรอหรือไงวะเชี่ยพัซเซิลนี้เราทำเรางงเลยวะรีบกระโดดขึ้นด้านบนของลิฟต์ก่อนที่มันจะทันอ๋อนึกออกแล้วอย่างนี้นี่เอง
Down. Rest and rebuild. Take flight.ต้องมีอะไรสักอย่างแถวนี้แน่เลย
อ๋อมั่วเอาได้เฉยเลยอะไรวะ
It's a sight to see. The Scarlet King's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of the Scarlet King.
ใกล้จะจบแล้วมั้งเนี่ยอ๋อแต่ชอบดีไซน์แมปจริงๆว่ะ
It's getting brighter. Oh, it looks so beautiful.
อ่าเที่ยงคืนแล้วเนี่ยวันนี้เราเอาเควสหลักให้จบแล้วค่อยนอนล่ะเราจะเป็นต้องพักผ่อนเยอะช่วงนี้โอ้โทษที
Wait.
เมื่อกี้ไปหลุดโดนสเปซบาร์ออกมาได้ท็อปเฉยเนี่ย
What's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are Scarlet King runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala.
คาซาร่านักบวชผู้ซื่อสัตย์
His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient Scarlet King script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
เสียงระบบกำลังวิเคราะห์แสดงว่ามันต้องมีเทคโนโลยีอะไรซ่อนอยู่ในนี้นั่นแหละ
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from the Scarlet King's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
ส่งข้อมูลไปแล้วฉายเป็นโปรเจคเตอร์เลยเว้ย
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
คัดซีนเปล่านะอุตส่าห์หลบสปอยมาแล้วเนี่ย
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. The Scarlet King brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. she summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping the Scarlet King to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
ที่เราสรุปสปอยมาเพื่อดูคัดซีนนี้จริงๆแหละ
The priest's memories.
ความทรงจำของโครงกระดูกนี้
No, impossible.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former Dendro Archon and the Scarlet King were never enemies at all.
But this doesn't make any sense.
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
ใช่เหมือนเราเจอสปอยออกมาแล้วล่ะแบบสรุปว่าลูกคาเทวดาเนี่ยก็คือคูซานารีนั่นแหละหรือนาฮิดะในปัจจุบัน คือตอนแรกร่างก็โตแหละแล้วพอใช้พลังไปจนหมดร่างก็เลยกลายเป็นเด็ก ก็คือลูกคาเทวดาคือกับนาฮิดะคือคนเดียวกันสินะลูกคาเทวดาผู้ยิ่งใหญ่ได้ยื่นมือเข้าช่วยสกาเลตคิงและประชาชนของเขาแต่การกำจัดความรู้ต้องห้ามให้สิ้นซากจำเป็นต้องเสียพลังไปมากมายลูกหลานของทวยเทพทั้งสองต่างเกลียดชังแต่กลับไม่คิดถึงว่าเทพทั้งสองฝ่ายจะร่วมตายกันมาแบบนี้
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt the Scarlet King's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of the Scarlet King all gathered in Aru village. Our God did not make mistakes. The Scarlet King's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization. It was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart,
เราจะทำให้สลิมกลับตัวกลับใจไหมนะ
how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of yourself.
Dia, tell me, my Aramites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Hey, how you doing?
I'll live. I should probably go. Can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything, but please, give me some time. After everything that's happened here today, somehow I need to explain it to the others.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow, I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
ใช่ศัตรูคือพวกนักปราชญ์ของสถาบัน
Yes, the gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to...
That must have been rough, but he seems to have figured things out now.
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in the Scarlet King. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice... long...
จบยังหวังว่าคงอีกไม่นานนะ
Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
10 ไพโมเจมละก็น่าจะจบตรงนี้แล้วมั้งชอบเนื้อเรื่องพาร์ทนี้จริงเลยเนี่ยเอาตีอายาขามาก่อน
Raman?
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to Aru village shortly.
I guess all I can say now is...
Don't mention it. I think we can both agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now. From here on out, we're allies.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you!
That's right.
Sino kick และ
General Mahamatra? No. Make it quick, please. Swift and...
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turned pale like they've seen a ghost!
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we...
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to...
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry!
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest. Huh?
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru.
ก็จะทำให้สคารามุดเป็นเทพองค์ใหม่
It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said the Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, he asked them, do you wish to create a god?
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which after that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a...
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries, but nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of
ตอบส
light.
นองต่อแสงป
For
ระมาณ
the
ว่าหิว
sages,
แสงอะไรป
their
ระมาณนั้น
only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the acme of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god...
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god.
สถาบันไม่เคยเห็นเธอเป็นเทพมาตั้งแต่ต้น
When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her
เป็น
existence.
เทพที่น่าสงสารจริงนาฮิดะของเรา ไม่สิลูกค้าเทวดาที่กลายเป็นนาฮิดะในปัจจุบันนี้
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two scholars, they're coming too.
Sure, as you wish.
โอ้ยต้องรีบจบเควสให้ได้แล้วค่อยนอนพัก เที่ยงคืนครึ่งแล้วเนี่ย
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them.
The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water and try to think about something else.
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
ชอบเสียงของแคนเดตจริง
Paimon's so coming with you.
ๆ
Do you have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels super surreal to hear you talk about it again.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense.
So, everyone, are we on the same page?
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
ทำลายนักปราชญ์และช่วยเหลือเทพ
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out for sure.
น่าจะจบแล้วมั้งเนี่ย แบบนี้ เนี่ย บทที่ 3 ฉากที่ 4 จบแล้ว ทีนี้มันก็เหลือแต่เควสโลกแล้ว เดี๋ยวถ้าสมมุติเราขี้เกียจทำอาจจะมาทำตอนแบบทำนอกไลฟ์ก็ได้ แต่ตอนนี้เราไม่ไหวแล้วจริง เริ่มเจ็บคอแล้ว พูดเยอะไปหน่อย เดี๋ยวพรดวงจันทร์ก็มาอีกก็เราน่าจะดองได้30 โลละแล้วก็อัพกลุ่มดาวนักเดินทางอยู่ไหนวะเราหาไม่เจอเฮ้ยหนาวก็หนาวนี่ไง สีละไว้รอ46ก่อนนะ เอาเป็นว่าเราจบแค่นี้ก่อนแล้วกัน ก็ไว้เจอกัน ถ้าเราหายจากโควิดนะก็ฝันดี